If I believe in God and life after death and you do not, and if there is no God, we both lose when we die. However, if there is a God, you still lose and I gain everything. Look for the truth, it wants to be found. There is a God-shaped vacuum in the heart of every man which cannot be filled by any created thing, but only by God, the Creator, made known through Jesus. Truth is so obscure in these times, and falsehood so established, that, unless we love the truth, we cannot know it. Don't try to add more years to your life. Better add more life to your years. All men's miseries derive from not being able to sit in a quiet room alone. People almost invariably arrive at their beliefs not on the basis of proof but on the basis of what they find attractive. In difficult times, carry something beautiful in your heart. The supreme function of reason is to show man that some things are beyond reason. I bring you the gift of these 4 words, I believe in you. It's not those who write the laws that have the greatest impact on society. It's those who write the songs.
Either Christianity is true or it's false. If you bet that it's true and you believe in God and submit to Him, then if it's true, you've gained God, heaven, and everything else. If it's false, you've lost nothing, but you've had a good life marked by peace and the illusion that, ultimately, everything makes sense. If you bet that Christianity is not true and it's false, you've lost nothing. But if you bet that it's false, and it turns out to be true, you've lost everything, and you get to spend eternity in hell.
There are only 3 types of people: those who have found God and serve Him, those who have not found God and seek Him, and those who live not seeking or finding Him. The first is rational and happy, the second is unhappy and rational, and the third is foolish and unhappy. What a vast difference there is between knowing God and loving Him. Justice without force is powerless. Force without justice is tyrannical. In faith, there is enough light for those who want to believe and enough shadows to blind those who don't. We must learn our limits. We are all something, but none of us are everything. Men never do evil so completely and cheerfully as when they do it from religious conviction. Belief is a wise wager. Granted that faith cannot be proved, what harm will come to you if you gamble on its truth and it proves false? If you win everything. If you lose nothing. Wager, then, without hesitation, that He exists. We are not satisfied with real life. We want to live some imaginary life in the eyes of other people and to seem different from what we actually are. Human beings must be known to be loved, but divine beings must be loved to be known. Lord, help me to do great things as though they were little, since I do them with your power, and little things as though they were great, since I do them in your name. Not only do we know God by Jesus Christ alone, but we know ourselves only by Jesus Christ. We know life and death only through Jesus Christ. We have no idea what are life, death, God, or ourselves are without Jesus Christ. If you do not love too much, you do not love enough. There is enough light for those who only desire to see, and enough obscurity for those who have a contrary disposition. One half of the ills of life come because men are unwilling to sit down quietly for 30 minutes to think through all the possible consequences of their actions. Once your soul has been enlarged by the truth, it can never return to its original size. The more I see of mankind, the more I prefer my dog. Distraction is the only thing that consoles us for our miseries. Yet it is itself the greatest of our miseries. When intuition and logic agree, you are always right. Do you wish people to think well of you? Don't speak well of yourself. Faith is different from proof. The latter is human. The former is a gift from God. The heart has its reasons, of which reason knows nothing. I'd rather live as if God exists to find out that He doesn't than live as if He doesn't exist to find out He does. Knowing God without knowing our own wretchedness makes for pride. Knowing our own wretchedness without knowing God makes for despair. Knowing Jesus Christ strikes the balance because He shows us both God and our own wretchedness. Small minds are concerned with the extraordinary, great minds with the ordinary. Most of man's trouble comes from his inability to be still. Human life is thus only an endless illusion. Men deceive and flatter each other. No one speaks of us in our presence as he does when we are gone. Society is based on mutual hypocrisy. We should seek the truth without hesitation, and if we refuse it, we show that we value the esteem of men more than the search for the truth. Happiness is neither within us nor without us. It is in the union of ourselves with God. Kind words do not cost much, yet they accomplish much. Man is equally incapable of seeing the nothingness from which he emerges and the infinity in which he is engulfed. Cold words freeze people, and hot words scorch them, and bitter words make them bitter, and wrathful words make them wrathful. Kind words also produce their own image in men's souls, and what a beautiful image it is. They are smooth and quiet and comfort the hearer. All the trouble in the world is due to the fact that man cannot sit still in a room. Let each of us examine our thoughts. He will find them wholly concerned with the past or the future. We almost never think of the present, and if we do think of it, it is only to see what light it throws on our plans for the future. The present is never our end. The past and the present are our means. The future alone is our end. Thus, we never actually live, but hope to live, and since we are always planning how to be happy, it is inevitable that we should never be so. Mankind suffers from two excesses: to exclude reason and to live by nothing but reason. If it is an extraordinary blindness to live without investigating what we are, it is a terrible one to live an evil life while believing in God. Justice and truth are two such subtle points that our tools are too blunt to touch them accurately. The finite is annihilated in the presence of the infinite, and becomes a pure nothing. So our spirit before God, so our justice before divine justice. If I had more time, I would write a shorter letter.